What you're going to hear about today is nothing short of a miracle.
Hello, fourth graders. For this math lesson, you're going to need your math workbooks and a pencil. Go ahead and push pause and come on back when you have both of those items. Welcome back. This math curriculum that you've been using for a couple years probably, it likes to do something that is referred to as going from concrete to abstract. And concrete not meaning the gray hard stuff that you walk around on like a playground. Concrete meaning something you can touch and count. And so this lesson on place value is going to start you off by having you could literally count dots. But by the end of it, you're going to understand that you don't have to count. You can kind of go more abstract and think of them as groups of numbers. It'll make more sense when we look at this. So start off by turning to page 3. It says model hundreds, and here's page 3. I'm going to zoom on in. It says you can represent numbers by making place value drawings on a dot array. And so it's been a while, but this is what they're calling a dot array. What number does the drawing show? It says explain your thinking. So in this case, like I said, they want to move from concrete. We could go through and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but that would take way too long. So what they've done is group these 100 dots into a square. They've grouped 10 dots into a line, and 1 dot is circled. So in this case, I could just count by 100s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 500. 1, 2, 3 tens, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones. 500, 3 tens, and 7 ones. 537. And the explain your thinking part, I just kind of walked you through it. So the thinking part would be there are 500s boxes, right? As we move on down the page, you'll see they've taken the dot array and they have zoomed out so you can see way more dots because they have these long ones now too that are representing 1,000. So we'll start off with this one. It says discuss the place value drawing, write the number of each unit. Now it starts with ones and you can see the little tiny dots there. I'm going to push this camera so close that it zooms on in where a guy like me could even count and see it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so we have 8 in the ones. And then it wants to know the tens. I'm going to keep it zoomed in for this one for myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the tens. Now I can zoom back out because the pictures are big enough for me. Here we go. How many hundreds boxes, they're calling it, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 hundreds boxes. And how many thousands bars? 1, 2, 3. No problem. How many hundreds boxes could we draw inside each thousands bar and explain? So some folks like to try this move where they just kind of draw a cross and try to find out, well, if I just filled up the thousands bar with hundreds boxes, how many would that be? And then they get down to this situation where they're trying to kind of mimic how big the boxes are. Or if you just think rationally, if I counted by tens, how many would I have to do before I got to 1,000? Or if I counted by hundreds, how many before I got to 1,000? So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. So 6 more. So looks like 10. And finally, what number does this drawing show? So it's going to be, we want to come to the thousands first, 3 thousands. Hundreds boxes, 4 hundreds. 6 tens, and 8 ones. So now that I've walked you through the first 7 problems, I want you to flip to the page 4, and let's take a look at what's next. You can see they've taken the dots completely out of their dot array. It says place value can also be shown without using a dot array. So now we have to remember that a big rectangle means 1,000, these mean hundreds, these mean tens, and the circles mean ones. So now it asks, what number does this drawing represent? Explain your thinking. So this number is going to be key to the whole thing. So once you get this number here, then the rest of these questions are based off of this number. All right? So for example, if this is 1 in the thousands, 2 in the hundreds, 5, 6, 7 in the tens, and 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 ones, there's my number, 1,279. Down here, all of these questions are based on this number. So if there were, what would the drawing represent if it had 3 more hundreds boxes? So what would it be if there were 3 more of these? Then write that number again. What if it had 0 hundreds boxes? So then pretend that all the hundreds boxes are gone, and what would that number represent? What if it had 2 more quick tens? So work your way down through problem 18. Good luck. So once you finish page 4, and since it's our first kind of math workbook page to be turned in through Seesaw, I'm hoping we try a couple of different ways. Some of you might take a picture of the page, but make sure when you look at it that it's good enough that I might be able to read your answers. Some of you, with a page like this, you might just be able to type in your answers because it's really just a series of numbers. Maybe a couple of you want to try recording yourself saying the answers. Let's try a couple different ways so we can find out which way is going to work best. All right, good luck. Here you go.